Hello, welcome back to Pan Edutainment. This is another day, this is another chance for you to grow in language speaking. Today, we are taking English to the next level. You don't always need to sound the same when you use the words. You need to alter the words that you use by using these phrasal verbs of today. Today we have phrasal verbs as an advanced lesson. Dufite iri somo risa nkaho ari ry'abantu bakuru ariko nanone ntabwo bigomba gutera ubwoba wowe utaragera aho ugera hakure. Don't hesitate to follow us. Hari icyo uri bukureho byanga bikunze. Today we learn about phrasal verbs that are different, they are diverse, they are not related to one another, but they are all helpful. Today, let's start without wasting time. This is the first phrasal verb of today. Brush off. Brush off. Brush off means dismissing something rudely. Brushing off ni ugukuraho ikintu cyangwa se kwanga ikintu mu buryo bubi cyane. For example, you can have an idea and you tell it to someone, and then even before listening to you, they say, no, that's not a good idea. Ufite igitekerezo ariko umuntu na mbere yuko acyumva ngo kirangira agahita akubwira ati reka. This is not a good idea. That means brushing off your idea. You say, his claims were brushed off in front of everyone. This is an example. His claims were brushed off in front of everyone. Ibitekerezo bye cyangwa se ibirego bye cyangwa se ibyo yireguzaga byose byahise byangwa imbere y'abantu bose. For example, you can go to the court. Remember the last time we talked about the court? Twavuze ku by'urukiko. Ushobora kuri mu rukiko ufite proofs zigaragaza wenda kurengana ariko bagahita babitera hariya bavuga ngo iki in Kinyarwanda. Write in the comment section. If something is rejected completely, dismissed rudely, that means brushed off. Thank you. The next one is called step down. Step down, which means resigning from power. This is a political term that means resigning from power. Ni ijambo riri politike rivuga kwegura cyangwa se kuva mu nshingano z'ubuyobozi. You know what it means because you've heard of it many times. You've heard of ministers, presidents stepping down from their thrones, from their kingdoms, from their rules, from all the leadership. You see? That's what we say, resigning from power. Kwegura ku nshingano cyangwa se kuva mu nshingano. The president said that he's going to step down. Perezida yavuze ko agiye kwegura. Stepping down. You get that? It's a political term that you hear many times in newspapers, from broadcast and TV shows saying, okay, you know what happened yesterday? They told us the president is stepping down. Stepping down means you are getting down in the throne. That's what it means. Great. The next phrasal verb of today is called hold up. Hold up means delay something. To hold up something ni ugutinza ikintu cyangwa se gutinza umuntu. Ushobora nko gutinza inama, gutinza igikorwa runaka wari ufite bitewe n'impamvu. For example, the manager held up the meeting until everyone said something. Manager yatindije inama paka buri muntu agize icyo avuga. You get what I mean by that? The manager held up the meeting. The meeting was supposed to be for 2 hours and finally it took 4 hours because the manager was waiting for everyone to say something. Mwari mu nama mwanga gutanga ibitekerezo, manager avuga ati murava ahangaha muvuze. Why is this happening? Murava mutanze ibitekerezo. That's why he held up the meeting. Nugutinza ikintu cyangwa se umuntu. Hold up. Now, the fourth phrasal verb of today is hinge on. Hinge on means depending on something or someone. Iki kintu runaka gishingiye kuri iki. You can say, my life hinges on you. If you have someone whose your life depends on, you can say, ubuzima bwanjye bushingiye kuri wowe. For example, my life hinges on you. This is an expression that means depending on. Success hinges on teamwork. gutsinda bishingira ku gukorera hamwe. Success depends on teamwork, or success hinges on teamwork. Our development hinges on his presence. Iterambere ryacu rishingira gusa ku kuba ari hano. As he is here, we develop. That means our development hinges on his presence. Keep using those words in your expressions when you talk to people, when you converse with the people, with your friends. Don't always repeat yourself with the same words. Start altering. Tangira uhindure amagambo ukoresha izindi mvugo, so that your language can develop as well as you develop. Great. The next is stem from. Stem from. Stem from means originate from. Iki gituruka kuri iki, bikomoka kuri iki, ibi abikomora kuri uyu. This one stems his discipline from his father. Discipline agira burya ikinyabupfura agira agikomora kuri se. He stems his discipline from his father. That's what we can say. His generosity stems from his father. Ubuntu bwe buturuka kuri se. That is something that originates from another. Do you get that? Start using that in your phrase too. The next phrasal verb is bear with. To bear with. Bear with means accept. Ni ukwemera cyangwa se kwemeranya n'ikintu runaka cyangwa se n'umuntu runaka. Let's say, will you bear with my proposal today? Will you bear with my proposal? Mbese muremera ubusabe bwanjye uyu munsi? Mbese muremera igitekerezo cyanjye? For example, you have an idea in a company. You are trying to invent something and you go there with your idea, you tell it to the people, you ask finally, do you bear with my proposal? Urakababaza, mbese muremeranya n'igitekerezo cyanjye? That's something you should say. Now, if you can't bear with something, or you can't bear with someone, wrong, ibyo bintu sinshobora kubyemera, sinabyihanganira. This is what you say. I can't bear with such a shame. Iyo bibaye negative, ni handi uvuga ngo sinabyihanganira. I can't bear with such a shame. Icyo kintu sinakwihanganira ikimwaro kingana gutyo. Do you get that? Is there something you can't bear with? Mbese hari ibintu ugira mu buzima wumva utakwihanganira. For example, you can say, I can't bear with an unserious person. Sinakwihanganira kubana n'umuntu utari seriye, niko babivuga nowadays. I can't bear with such a shame. The next phrasal verb, which is actually the last in our lesson today, is called phasing out. Phase out. We are also phasing out to this lesson, but as we phase out, we are also learning the phrasal verb called phase out, which is actually gradually stop using something. Gradually stop using something ni ukugenda uhagarika ikintu gake gake cyangwa se uhagarika gukoresha ikintu gake gake. For example, if you recall in the past years when we were banning the plastic use, it didn't just happen in a wink of an eye. Mu gihe twacaga plastique mu Rwanda ntabwo byabaye ikintu gita kivuga ngo pop ziracitse. It phased out. Byagenze gake. Zatangiye gukoreshwa bagenda bagabanya kuzikoresha until the last minute when we finally banned the plastic usage. You say, nowadays, petrol cars are being phased out. Muri iyi minsi imodoka zikoresha essence zirimo cyangwa se petrol ziragenda zigabanuka. Barimo baragenda bazica gake because everything is being electrified. Nowadays, buri kintu turi kuzana imodoka zikoresha amashanyarazi, ibintu byose bikoresha amashanyarazi. Why? Because it is good for the climate, it is good for biodiversity, you know that. Nowadays, petrol cars are being phased out. Zirimo ziragenda zikendera. Gucendera, that's a good word to use. You can also say, seriousness is really phasing out. Seriousness is phasing out. What does that mean? ubunyangamugayo cyangwa se kuba seriye biri kugenda bikendera. For example, you can be observing the people in the community and you see everyone is behaving very strangely, no one is serious. Biri kugenda bikendera rwose. Murimo murabona ukuntu kuba serious muri iyi minsi bigenda bikendera. You say, seriousness is phasing out nowadays. Is there anything that you know also which is phasing out? Hari ikindi kintu uzi kigenda gikendera muri iyi minsi? Write for us. Type in the comment section and tell us, maybe discipline is phasing out or peace is phasing out. Write something in the comment section. It will also help you practice using these words in your English learning journey. Thank you very much for today's lesson. I hope you will be still there by the next lesson. This is Teacher Gervais. See you next time.